Alright, it's Matt and today I got the realistic 4-speed transmission with the tilt shifter. So basically, what is different about this is that a realistic transmission, what it does is that you have to tilt the shifter over and then up in the first and then back in the second. Whereas a Lego 4-speed transmission, people would slide it and then up and first and back in second. So that kind of adds a realism to the transmission, that you can actually tilt the shifter over and up as first, back as second, and across, up as third, back as fourth. And this is actually a pretty strong transmission as far as the shifter goes, so it's not really janky at all. You'll be seeing a couple seconds here that it actually runs, and pretty good too. You can actually power shift it. It's not like you have to baby it, into each shift. You can really, jam into each shift. As you can see from top here, this is how it works. So you have the fork here that slides this thing back and forth. Don't worry about that, it always comes off. A little piece there. Anyways, you have the two red shifters on each driving ring, and this little fork here slides back and forth and shifts into each one. So that's how that works, and that's also realistic as well as far as the mechanism works, but instead it's reversed, that the actual driving rings are the one that has the forks, and then the shifter has the arm in it. But as far as the mechanisms go, with the fork and the little arm there, that's realistic as well. And also this housing as well, that also is realistic as well, because that also has a housing and also pivots where the shifters are at. Another thing is this. The transmission actually comes apart off of the engine pretty easily. So as you can see here, you just gently pull the transmission off like so. That's pretty perfect. I got all the pins staying in the engine, but I got some gears in there if you're wondering. That's because the input shaft on the 4-speed is actually offset from just the regular design. So anyways, you have the gear drive, so I have to have a spacer, and then I have, the most important part is a pin hookup to a transmission. So what you can easily do with all these pins and stuff like that is that you can easily just attach and disattach, or attach and just take off, like a 6-speed, 4-speed, whatever. Let's say you don't like this 4-speed, you can just slap on a 6-speed and then you're good to go. So it's a pretty quick change and a slick design that I like. So, and just to re-show you guys again, you just line it up like that and then kind of wiggle it in there, and then you're good to go. So and then also on top of that, if you look down below here, this is not actually on the ground, it's actually hovering over the ground, because on a actual real engine, the transmission's actually off of the ground. Well, it's actually bolted onto the engine and not supported. Now, however, there are some designs where they have a transmission like a cradle at the back of it, but I know in like some of the 50s and whatnot, they had two engine mounts, and then that also helped it, but that's kind of, I guess, added realism to it. I don't know, it's like just hooked up to the bell housing, or bell housing. But anyways, also if you're wondering about this shifter here, this is a pistol grip shifter, and here's a photo of the real thing, and I'm not sure if that even deserves to be called a pistol grip. It's really just, I don't know, kind of a second thought, but instead of a ball shifter, I just have this pistol grip shifter. Anyways, on to it actually running. Well guys, sorry to cut that recording session short. My engine kept on exploding. The crank on here just, whenever it downshifted all the time, it just exploded. And also if you revved it too quick, it just exploded as well. It's just engine problems, and that issue where it does that stuttering and stuff. Trying to go a session, just a recording session, without it actually doing that is kind of hard. But anyways, I'm sorry to have this high of light goal, but I have a competition in the 10-2, the Lego GBC challenge. So if I really need to know, within about, I give you about a week and a half from now, this video is published. 20 likes, and I'll do a tutorial on the transmission here. But other than that, if I don't reach that in 2 weeks, then I'm going to just take all this apart and build a GBC thing as well.